so long is like alchemy.
All right, y'all, finally getting to this after watching this for about 3 times to get to this edit here. Watch Draymond communicate. You see how he switches off the ball there with Looney to get on Love, and Love did pretty well on Draymond, I thought, in this game, but I think that's a key throughout this series is off-ball switching, considering both teams hunting the switch on every possession, and I just love this right away from Steph. It's going to be there all series, and I hope he just gets absolutely greedy with it. Now watch here. Watch the double switch here. You see how Steph gets back and KD winds up back on LeBron. But you know the storyline, attack Steph Curry. Here they are trying to go at him with J.R. Smith in the post. That's not going to be effective. And then this, I'm surprised we haven't seen more of this in the two-year tenure between these two. Really, all 3 of those guys, when they pull up at the line, it has to be honored, and it opens up that pass. Now watch LeBron's timing here. Look how slow and comfortable he is. Look at the slow hop. That's like a warm-up type of jumper. Not using any energy again, at to that get pace, the shots he can do this for 7 games. You see it slow down, and I'm convinced it was absolutely on purpose. And I have a couple points to make here. It really put me in a bad mood the whole night, even regardless of the results. So right here, you see he's already diving before he slips. He hasn't slipped yet. I'll show you as I speed it up. But also when you slip, you go down to the floor. You don't keep moving forward, which proves that it wasn't truly a slip. His body was already committed to flopping across Klay's legs, and it was just a miracle. It was really a miracle. I really had a hard time concentrating on the game until I knew Klay was good, I'll be honest with you. But you see the dissection from the offense here. And Cleveland, their defensive principles and communication is just bad. And I think we're going to see it play out throughout the series. But I don't think this game was played at that high of a level with the exception of LeBron and Steph. Really, you see Bell slip that and there's a miscommunication. Now watch KD get bullied here on the baseline. The physicality is completely disrupting his game, and then the familiarity of Jeff Green, the childhood friend, rips him. Right? And then the late double teaming. Watch the late help come. He's already made up his mind. We've talked about the lack of a gray area with KD as a playmaker. Houston showed it, and now Cleveland exploiting it as well. And then Sean Livingston, I'd grade his effort level at about a 6 or a 7. Larry Nance only played 19 minutes. I thought that was a mistake. Lou probably should have played him more. I think he had like 11 rebounds in 19 minutes, and then watch David West out here helpless. LeBron, it looks like he's just in an open gym, right? Like there's no one there. Look at him taking his time, kind of loses the ball into a nice, it's just too easy, and he's not using enough juice. Watch Livingston on the screen. Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. And Korver bails us out by missing. Now watch the help from Sean. He's going to help David West here, right? And what it does is look where Klay is. He gets pinned, and Nance gets to play to his strength, which is banging the glass, and that's just the LeBron effect. I will say that Sean gave us 10 points. I didn't have a problem with his offense. It was the defense. And it's ironic because throughout the season, it was really the other way around, right? As I think we're seeing the last of David West. Shout out to D West. He had a tremendous career, but you're seeing he just can't play in these games anymore. And then Jordan Bell, there was just some miscommunication. And like I said, I don't think we played that well. I really don't. Our defense just wasn't that connected. And then you see Klay back in the game and knocks down the 3. And this dude is becoming maybe my favorite basketball player of all time. I'm not even joking. I have so much respect for what he did in this game. And there's a sloppy turnover, and that's kind of a play made by George Hill. I think that it was a good decision, and then you see the batting. And like I said in the first take video, Cleveland played harder in this game for the most part. I thought Kevin Love was decent, even though he got toasted late in this game. But he was like, 1 of 7 from downtown. And it's like, if we're going to exploit him on the defensive end, he kind of needs to be hitting his 3-ball to stay in the game. You see Klay knock it down, and then Steph, I just loved his overall floor game. I thought he mixed it up well, and I thought he just remained confident and aggressive. Now watch the double switch here. So they make him run 2 screen actions, and what it does is it just gets him deeper into the clock, and then you're going to get a 24-second shot clock violation. So it worked to an extent, but you know LeBron is going to adjust to that strategy come game 2, and there's KD just getting bodied and airballing the mid-range shot. Had to point this out. This pass to me, that pass just let me know, like, oh, I don't think they're taking the Cavs too seriously. Like Steph had a great game, but that pass, that was like a type of pass. There's a dime on a rope, but there were just certain plays in this first half where I was like, oh, they're not really worried about these guys at all, as they had the lead on them in game 1. Nick Young getting the stop. Shout out to whoever pointed that out. Nick Young had a couple good possessions, and then look at him fighting in there. Did you see him throwing and being physical with LeBron? That's what I'm looking for that we're not getting from Sean Livingston, the fight. Here's Nick again. This time he gets toasted, but again, you're not going to win all the battles, but make him work harder. And then LeBron gets raked in the eye. Now here's what's hilarious to me. Watch him act as if he's dizzy. Look at him act as if, whoa. Like, here's the play. Draymond clearly racks him in the eye, but it wasn't a blunt blow, right? His eye was scratched. And so the fact that he got up like he was dizzy, just putting a little extra sauce on it, as we know he would do. And then here it is to end the half. Got him. Now, I've come to accept who Steph is, and he's silly, right? That's his comfort zone. But to me, ending the half here, I just wasn't pleased with the performance. And so, sometimes it just rubs me the wrong way. Now, where was that shot in the Houston series, Kevin Durant? He's forgotten about that little Dirk Diggler fadeaway. I think that would open up things for him when guys are being physical. There's JR. I don't even know if he hit 1-3 in this game. And I'm running this sequence just to show you guys that they had open looks, right? The defense wasn't that good. And then JaVale starting the second half, and he made LeBron work. Look how different this possession is as opposed to David West or some loony possessions. LeBron having to actually spend energy on the offensive possession. So JaVale had a huge impact in just 6 minutes in this game. Draymond coast to coast off that, and it really just lit Oracle up. Another point that I want to make about it. Now, George Hill is fully capable of doing this, but he kind of has Sean Livingston-itis, right? Kind of pussyfooting on offense. And then here's the other play to JaVale. I believe he had 4 points. But that stint of minutes from JaVale also kind of let me know I think Kerr fucked up by not giving him a shot in the Rockets series, right? He deserved a look considering how he played this. Now he knew Hill already pulled 1-3, so now he's out on the three-point line. Now, I'm not saying have him in the game in closing moments, but the energy, and then he lets Draymond get free, right? All of a sudden, Draymond has more energy because the possibility of the lob is there, right? And then here he is, he's an intimidating factor on defense because even if you get by him, you have to still be conscious of him coming flying in and recovering from the play. So there's an intimidation level as well as a new look offensively with the actual rim finisher in the game. And I'm all right with that turnover, Steph. That's one where you're like, all right, I see what you were trying to do. And here he is again. And I know we have to live with the mistakes. Here's the Shackton moment, right? But he made like 3 or 4 plays to that bad one. And so he deserves to play in this series. KD, again, that looks nothing like the Rockets series. If he can fight to get into his spot, he's going to be able to make those shots. But LeBron was just amazing. And it's kind of similar to the James Harden rules where at this point in LeBron's career, I've mentioned he's become a jump shooter, right? And so I think you have to play him a little more as a jump shooter. Yes, we know he can drop the shoulder and finish at the rim, but he knows he has to conserve energy. And at this age, right, he'd rather shoot the shot. You need to understand that there's a good trap, but it didn't matter. Look at the touch. And he's just playing at his own speed, and here he is pulling up from deep. And as well as he shot the ball from 3, if he and Steph are going to have a 3-point shootout during this series, my money's still on this guy right here.
Curry answers back.
Tristan Thompson's a very unique player. Watch him flop on this rebound. He's really become an expert at selling that he's getting pushed out of position, and we need to watch that if he's going to play more in this series. And I like this from Steph. This is what I mean by making LeBron work. Make him pick up his rhythm, speed up his pace of play. Otherwise, I think he is actually capable of averaging 50 in the series. I'm serious. Draymond, look how much space is there, baby. You got to take that to the rack. Clay continued to play. What did he play? 45 minutes, and it just felt like every shot that he made was super timely, right? Didn't it feel like every shot he made, it was like at a time where we absolutely needed a shot? There's a nice read from Jordan Bell. KD left butt naked at the rim, but watch Jordan Bell here. He grabs his lower back. I think it's seized up on him, something we have to watch if he's going to continue to play, seeing it as the David West will not. Early fourth quarter, Steph went a little bit cold. We missed a couple easy looks. There's the outlet pass. And again, I mean, the storylines and individual performances were amazing in this game, but the overall quality was not that high. I expect to see better games. Now watch Sean. Now, you can say, look, he had no chance. He probably was best to leave him finishing that. Well, the reason why he had no chance was because his rotation over was so late. So he's just not getting it done. His alertness is not where it needs to be. Green finally finds a 3, and then Draymond chooses wrong there, right? You got to stick to Korver and dare Green to hit another one, and Kerr needs a timeout as some timely 3-point shots from Cleveland brought them back in this fourth quarter. Once again, we need a basket, and who is it? Klay Thompson making the play. But look at that finish from Looney. You notice how he didn't bring the ball back down to the floor? He needs to focus on that because we know once he brings it back down, he doesn't have the explosiveness to go back up and finish it. And then he makes this play as well. Again, tipping it, never bringing the ball back down. That's how he needs to look to finish around the basket. That was a huge play for Looney down the stretch. You talk about the holes in a Unicorns game. KD trying to one-hand the rebound. Just understand the moment a little bit better. Cleveland, what did they shoot? 27% behind the line. Now watch Kevin Love come in here, KD's box out. Oh, right. I'm not even joking, y'all. I'm less of a fan of Kevin Durant after last night's game. Like, that's how upset I was with his performance. Draymond with 2 huge 3 balls late in this game. And it could really change the series. If he can just hit 1 or 2 a game, it's going to have to completely change the defense and the spacing on the floor for Cleveland. And then Steph went to work. Looks a little different than the stop in 16 when Steph was on one leg. And back to the double switching. You see Steph, he didn't hold long enough there. You're going to see Draymond telling him like, yo, you got to hold him longer for KD to get back. LeBron's going to figure that strategy out. Now watch Kevin Durant here. Watch him get bullied off where he wants. He wants the ball right there. Look at Jeff Green push him all the way out to the 3-point line. And then you're going to see this dead possession from Kevin Durant. And he needs to be humbled. I hope it doesn't cost us a championship, but Kevin Durant, we've heard him talk about, oh, I don't lift weights. I'm a basketball player. No, you may want to lift weights because deep in these playoffs, we're seeing the effect of him not put any work in the weight room. Look at George Hill with that rub screen. That's very sneaky. He knows Durant is the weak side help, and he rubs him off, cutting through the lane. LeBron, another finish. I have to say, the one thing I'm excited about moving forward out of this game is if we're going to get this Love-Curry switch at the top for this series, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to see the chef with recipes we didn't know he even had. Once again, Cleveland on the offensive glass, and finally, Love hits his sole 3 of the game. Couldn't have been more timely with 2 minutes remaining. Now, Steph was kind of going here, and they clear out for KD, who had been struggling with less than 2 minutes left in the game. So I think it's clear that this is the defined role. Down the stretch, they're going to ISO Durant. It's just been established from what we've seen, and I don't agree with it every time. In a game like styles make fights, right? And in this fight, Steph has the matchup. LeBron and 1 too strong. And you got to remain dynamic because here they take Love off the floor. So, okay, now they're going to go to Durant because they don't have the Love-Curry switch, right? They don't like that as much. And here's the play, y'all. And I know all the talk's been made about it. And here's the thing that really irritated me. Well, we can all agree it was a block, right? Here's the thing that irritated me was the propaganda that the announcers were spewing. Because they all, including the guy that go to the headquarters at Secaucus, say, oh, they don't say one thing about LeBron moving and that it's a block, regardless of the restricted area or not. They don't say anything about him moving until the officials make the official ruling. And then they go, well, actually, LeBron was moving. And it just lets you know the propaganda and the phoniness of what they do. The NFL does the same thing. They bring these guys in here to tell you what to think. And it's disgusting. I understand Golden State kind of played the rule book with the review of the call. But here's the thing. One official had it as a charge, the other as a block. So never mind restricted area or review, you already had the referees in disagreement, so they probably should have reviewed it anyway. But what's funny is if you want to play the letter of the law in the book rules, that talk about Kevin Love coming off the bench, he's going to get a pass for that. So cry me a river. So here we go, biggest defensive sequence, and what is Kevin Durant doing? Again, I believe if I were to tell you what I think he's thinking, I think he over-prepares for the screen, right? He over-adjusts, but he just allows a complete blow-by, thank God, for 30. Curling around, swooping finish, and 1. Now watch Draymond here. Watch Draymond tell Kevin Durant to stay the fuck off LeBron on this final possession. Watch this. Watch this. He's going to point to KD. No. You stay there. You stay there. I'll take him. Since you don't want to play any defense, let me take him. And I liked this trap. I thought this was a very good strategic trap. The problem was Draymond got caught ball watching here towards the end. Nice cut from Hill, and you're going to get the foul and these free throws. And tell me George Hill doesn't look like he has a Snickers in his pants right now, right? And then let's just watch the box out. We all know JR is a dumbass, and then he didn't know. We all know that. It's not even really an argument, but just watch KD there. Watch that, right? And then if you pay attention here to the end, watch JR kind of mouths. He's like, I thought we were up. I thought we had it. So, and there's a lot of talk today of this. Can the Cavs recover from this? Brian Windhorst said he had never seen this locker room that devastated, not even when they lost the NBA Finals. So the way this went down is going to impact the rest of this series. And JR, let's face it, they need him to win this series. They need him to be a three-point shooter and a non-defensive liability. Here we go, overtime, and it was all Golden State. Draymond the block, defense, it's always going to lead the offense. Guess who's still playing in this game? One-legged killer. Now, apparently the huge news today is Klay actually feels better, because I was worried that he's so fucking tough that today they were going to say, oh, his shit's just smashed, and he was just not even telling us. Steph, risky play, great hands from Livingston, and like I said, I'm giving him credit for playing offense the way he should and shooting those shots. Steph, he's always going to live and die by the high-risk pass. That one paid off, and at this point, we were really taking over this game. Like I said, Cleveland, I think the devastation of how regulation ended, they were just too demoralized to compete in this overtime, and Day hits another one. Check out this, though. We talk about high risks passes. Now, the game is pretty secure at this point, but look at that pass. Like, my God. And then Draymond's pass, too. So this is who we are. We have to accept that. When it goes well, it looks really good. But any of those passes could have been like, oh, my God, what are you doing moments. Now, here's what I was told was said. Steph went to LeBron and said, man, you could have let me have that one, like kind of joking around. Again, this is from Brian Windhorst, Cavs Insider. He's like, you could have let me have that. And LeBron told him, get the fuck out my face. But I love Klay coming into this. And I also want to point out, as this scuffle takes place, Golden State stands united. You see all 5 players on the floor come and kind of almost form a wall as this gets a little ugly here. Now, as much as I dislike Tristan Thompson, I looked at this over and over again. That call there is bad. It maybe from the angle, it looked like he threw an elbow, but he didn't. And I'll show you the angle where he doesn't. And so the flagrant 2 is a bad call, and it may get rescinded. But this extra action here, you know, trying to bait Draymond, and we all know there's a double standard. And you know what? I don't even have a problem with it, man, because I tell kids that I coach and my kids all the time, there's double standards. That's life. And so I'm not going to complain about it. But yeah, he's a bitch. And it was nice to see him walk off. Here it is. Watch. The little bit of elbow action right there. Right? And so it looks like he swung that elbow through at his neck, but he didn't. Right? You see, he kind of pops his elbow there, and that's what the ref saw, but that wasn't dirty. So that was a bad call, and it kind of made the situation uglier here at the end. But the bottom line is, this is a Steph Curry series, man. We escape this somehow, some way, and Cleveland's going to shoot better, but I think the Warriors can play a lot better, and particularly defense, and I think we have to make LeBron work harder. He can't play at that practice gym pace. Then he will go for 50 and he will play 48 minutes. So we know he's going to score, but let's make him work for it a little bit more. Game 2, it sounds like Klay's a go and Iguodala is not. I'm out, y'all.